Hi, I'm Sarah Hyland, and these are my lady parts. Today, I'm going to get to know this part in particular a little better. Currently, we're more like acquaintances that keep running into each other at parties, but it's that thing where you never remember the other's name and you're both like, hi, but you never address each other formally. Anyway, how well do you really know your lady parts? Let's find out. I'm joined by our lady parts OBGYN Dr. Sherry, and today's guests, singer JoJo and comedian Simmi Singh. Hi guys!
Hi Doc.
Hi everybody!
You look really beautiful.
Who are we talking about, just so I can say thank you or not?
Everybody is hugely gorgeous.
Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I'm so excited to not only see you, but to talk to you about our lady parts. Dr. Sherry, where are our erogenous zones?
An erogenous zone is any area of your body that has a real heightened sensitivity when it's touched or stimulated by fingers, tongue, teeth, and it brings on a sexual response.
I know maybe 3. Maybe the men in my life are not doing their job properly, but I know like, what, 3?
All right, we're gonna find out where yours are, but the most common are gonna be your mouth, your lips, your ears, your earlobes, my favorite, your neck, your back, lower stomach. How about yours?
For me, I like the ears as well. I feel like ears is a very common one, but I'm also the type of person that's just like, let's get down to the good stuff.
Oh, nipples. Nipples, sorry.
Nipples!
I feel like
my neck is a thing. Is that a thing? Is that what?
Yeah.
my neck is a thing too. I feel like I am an erogenous zone. I feel like almost
Your whole body.
anything can be erogenous to me. Because like, I even like going like this with my partner. I'm very sensitive and I'm grateful for it as well.
Wait, did we talk about all the erogenous zone? I just want to know. I want to make sure that I know this so I can be like, hey, hit this, 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 and this.
There's a few more we can talk about. Behind the knee, inner wrist, bottom armpit, bottom of feet.
Hold on. Literally
Like
armpit.
In the armpit, nose first.
The bottom?
Like where your lymph nodes are?
Damn, Sarah, technical as
Oh my God.
Yes, 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 yes.
Some people like it rubbed a certain way, a certain pressure.
And this is a weenus, right?
It's weenus, yes.
Do you guys like being bitten? Like
Lightly.
Me too.
like bruise me. I don't mean in a, but yeah, like bite the shit out of me.
Yeah, I actually said that in my last guy. I was telling him, I was like, while he was like kissing my neck, and so I was like, hey, do you like bites? And he was like, yeah. Is that what you like? I said, yeah. And he goes, okay. So then he started, and I was like, okay, a little harder. Like, I wanna feel you the next day type stuff, you know?
Yes, girl.
Like when I'm walking down and grabbing coffee innocently, I'm like, I wasn't so innocent last night. You know, like, I want that.
How did you guys learn what you like in bed? And what did you learn? And do you have your first memory of figuring out your erogenous zones?
I'm lucky, I think, because I knew how to make myself orgasm around the time that I started having sex. I lost my virginity just before I was 15, so I was 14, okay? But I don't know why I say that. I don't know why I'm like, I was almost 15. I was 14.
I did the same thing. I lost my virginity at 15, but I always say like, it was like right before my 16th birthday.
Right, you were 15. I had already been masturbating for quite a while at that point. Like
Before 14?
Girl.
Oh yeah.
When I discovered my clitoris, when I discovered what I could do and that I could like rub like over my pants on a chair, I would stay home sick from school, okay? And I would pretend to be sick and I would just try to get off. Like that's me. So by the time I started having sex, that's not to say that every partner got me off or anything, but I at least knew what it could end in.
Damn, lucky duck. Like
I feel mad lucky.
I was 22 when I lost my virginity. I was like, like at 22, I was like, oh, I think I can attempt to figure this out now because I'm brown, in case you didn't know, and we are just not allowed to even think about it. Cause what is that?
Yeah.
I was about 22. No, I was 22. I wasn't 21. Okay, I was almost 22. I was 22.
When you lost it, or when you orgasmed for the first time? Or
No, I didn't orgasm till like years later because I didn't know what that was or what I was doing with it. Like, no, I didn't orgasm in the situation until years later. But like I started masturbating at 15. Just, you know, on my own. I was like, oh, this is nice. But I didn't actually like use a vibrator till honestly, till a year ago. Why am I having this conversation?
There is nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with, we have everything we need, honestly.
How did you feel that your upbringing affected how you view yourself sexually?
Well, okay, being brown and stuff, like, you know, it's kind of like you don't talk about it. Like, even, like, I make videos, you know, and I always, hold on, let me rephrase this. Comedy YouTube videos. And I was like, I make videos and we're talking about this, and I was like, pause. And a lot of the times I talk about the fact that, like, as a brown kid, we don't talk about sex. It's like you don't even mention it. Like their kids never do it until they're married. So it's just like me trying to be like, hey, it's okay to talk about it with your kids, because just so you know, your kids are doing it. Like, you know, it's happening. I think personally, my upbringing, it was, you know, wait till marriage, and it was like, you know, it was kind of like that. And then my older sister also like she was 5 years older than I was, and she was still, you know, like a virgin. And I was like, dang, I can't do it if she doesn't do it, you know, like, is it wrong, you know? But then little by little, I was like, nope, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. I remember telling my sister too, I was like, hey, you know, and she was like, what? And I was like, you know, did it.
Did you feel like you were ready to do it because there was somebody who you really liked, who made you feel like, if I were to express myself physically with them, it wouldn't be wrong? Like, was it that?
No, I totally regret my first time, and it was because
Me too.
I know, I was like, oh man, sensitive topic, Joe. I'm kidding. No, so I was in a relationship with this guy for 3 years, and he was like cheating on me, right? And I was like, and a lot of people were like, oh, Sim, maybe because, you know, like he loves you, but like you don't give it up, so he's going elsewhere for that, but then he comes to you. And as like, you know, I was like, maybe, right? No, I would never suggest it now. Like, of course, as I did it, I was like, ooh, I don't like this. So then I was like, but I didn't like it because it was with this person, right? And I was like, okay. But then when I did it again, I was like, oh, I do like it. But it wasn't with him, so it was good.
The first time I did it, I was afraid that he was gonna go elsewhere too. So that's not ever a good reason to do something. But when you're doing it for the first time, you're like, I want to make sure. It's just, you know.
Yeah, you're learning.
You know, I love the stories because this is so true, and you have to know your roadmap first, and you have to have a healthy relationship with yourself sexually before you can have it with a partner. So I think your stories are so common.
Great.
JoJo, would you like to tell us a little bit about your favorite me time?
Let's go, girls.
It really depends on what my needs are in that moment, because sometimes I don't need penetration, and I don't need a vibrator or something like that. Sometimes I could just use my fingers and just stimulate myself clitorally. Was that the right word?
Yeah.
Dr. Sherry, correct us, please.
Well, clitoris, clitoris. I always say tomato, tomato. There's no wrong answer here.
Clitorously.
I just like that you're saying it.
So sometimes that's all I need, but sometimes I need a little bit more. So I do have a whole drawer of toys that I'll reach over to, and I don't think anybody is surprised at this point in the conversation that I have a drawer of toys. That's the type of I am.
For me, I need a mix of both penetration and clitoral action for my me time, and it's like a both, and it feels very empowering for me when I masturbate, because it's like I'm doing it all. I love to multitask, and so it's like you got one thing here, you got one thing here.
I'm proud of you. You can do it all, girl.
Do you guys like, okay, so JoJo, you said you have to like watch stuff. Sarah, do you like do you have like a specific like thing you think about where it's almost like it's role play but like in your own head? Do you do that? Because I have the weirdest one.
I have like a Rolodex of like memories. Like for me, I normally think about my fiance and I on this specific trip to Mexico, or
yes, that good trip to Mexico, a freaky trip. I love it.
like that, you know?
Our biggest erogenous zone, or our biggest sort of stimulation, is mentally.
Yes.
And a lot of things, right, that we hear, or you're talking about your Rolodexes, your memories, music, that's what helps our desire. So I think it's really great that we're talking about it, because it's so true.
Is that more of a feminine thing?
You know, it's a lot easier for men to get aroused just by, you know, rubbing up against something. They don't need the mental as much as we do. I think our sexual responses are very different, but for women, our desire starts really with the biggest stimulation is above our shoulders.
Women tend to struggle a lot with talking to their partners about their sexual needs. Have you ever, A, done that, or B, wish that you could have?
Yes to both. So this last person that I, was romantically involved with, it was the first time that I was able, and maybe it's because like I've done the work on myself too mentally, where like, I say what I feel now. And I think we all went through this during quarantine, find yourself again.
Oh yeah.
This past relationship, situationship, whatever, I was able to like say like what I wanted and everything like that. And I was like, no, this is how I get mine. And like, it was like a lot more freeing. And I really liked that I was able to do that. I wish I knew back then to be able to just say, like, let me tell you how I like it, Because you're gonna tell me regardless, so like, let me let you know too.
I felt really vulnerable in the last situationship that I was in because what I needed more of was more kissing. And I felt like, well, if you don't want to kiss me, like, as much as I want to, then you just don't like me enough, or, I just wasn't sure. But while we were having sex, we weren't as connected, like, through kissing as I would have liked to have been. So I need the intensity and the passion, and he understood that once I spoke up about it.
Sometimes it's really hard for me to make out whilst having sex.
Yeah.
Purely because of height.
How much taller is your fiance?
I'm just a really tiny person. My fiance is like 6 foot. I have like I have very long limbs, but a very short torso. So my head can't really like.
You're like trying to extend and you're like, it's just, babe, hold on.
There are just
Let me
certain
get up there real
positions where
quick
you're like,
and kiss you and then come back
I'm gonna kiss you and then come back down, and then kiss you and then come back down. Like you can't really do a lot. Maybe that's just me.
It's not just you. I'm
Yeah.
tiny too, so I get it. And I like tall men, so it's just get it
Exactly. That means it's time for another refreshing fact from RepHresh.
You can experience an imbalance in vaginal yeast as a result of switching partners. It's your body's response to the new bacteria, and yet another way nature punishes women. Luckily, a probiotic like RepHresh Pro B balances yeast and bacteria to maintain a healthy vagina.
Dr. Sherry, can you tell us what is the best position for couples in the midst of everything to be able to climax and maybe also kiss each other at the same time if you have like very big height differences?
Well, this is where communication and creativity is so important, right? And I think if you establish your playing field in the beginning and you're open and honest and you're expressing what you need and you like. So best positions, the clitoris, however you want to say it. Maximum exposure is kind of nice. So doggy style, cowgirl, reverse cowgirl, where either your partner can touch the clitoris area or you can touch it. And Magic Mountain, of course, that's another way. And maybe Sarah, that might be
What
good
is a magic
for
mountain?
you.
I'm about to write this down. What's a magic mountain?
Magic Mountain?
Don't get so, maybe I don't know, JoJo.
No, I don't know. What the hell is a Magic Mountain?
Oh, good. I was like,
I don't know.
So your partner kind of leans back on his or her arms, and the knees are bent. And then you're mirroring that position too with your knees bent, and you face each other and you sort of do a crab crawl to each other in the front so that you're facing each other, your knees are bent.
Oh,
That sounds fun.
wow.
Magic Mountain.
Or just put it on my list. What else?
As we're taking
Well, the
notes.
cowgirl, women on top, women penetration from behind, anywhere where the clitoris can be stimulated, or one of the body parts of your partner can be sort of rubbed against. That's another sort of nice way of stimulating the clitoris.
Dr. Sherry, JoJo, and Simmi, thank you so much for joining me. This was so much fun talking about biting our significant others and having them bite us.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. And it was really nice meeting all three of you.
Pleasure is all mine. Doctor, thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
You guys are great. Your honesty. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. To everyone at home, Remember, practice makes perfect, so go to town on yourself. Can I say that? Whatever, we'll cut it in post. Tune in next week for more lady parts. These two in particular